G'day guys, I'm T5 here and today I'll be reviewing Unturned. So Unturned is a free-to-play, first-person zombie survival game which is developed by a single person, Nelson Sexton, in which you play as you, an adorable random survivor in a colourful world falling to a zombie apocalypse. If someone asked me to explain Unturned to them, I'd probably say it's a survival game with a great mix of DayZ, Rust, with a cute colourful look of Minecraft. This game was released on Steam free of charge, but there is also a premium version worth $5 in which you get a few bonuses which I've listed here. But I decided to stick to the free-to-play version, in which probably most of you will be playing. So there is absolutely no plot to this game. This is the fad of most modern survival games, in which you just spawn into a world and just survive any way possible. So once you've created your cute little character, you're instantly spawned into the world, and from there what happens next is all up to you. You can go in any direction you want, explore farms, towns, and other sort of structures. And you will need to thoroughly search every building you come across for vital supplies in order to survive. If you happen to play any other survival MMO games, then you're going to feel right at home here. This game doesn't really have any original ideas, but that doesn't mean it didn't impress me with its depth and detail. So let's get to the basics. At the bottom of the screen you have a number of different icons that you'll need to pay close attention to if you want to survive. You have your health bar, which of course means if it reaches 0, you will die. You also have a food and water bar, which represent how hungry and thirsty you are. So you will constantly have to look for food and drink to survive, otherwise you'll become dehydrated and starved, and will slowly start to lose health. There's also an infection bar, which tells you how infected you are becoming. But don't worry, because you can find medical supplies which help maintain this. This bar goes up when you get attacked and consume bad food and drinks, so you have to be careful. And finally, the energy bar, which depletes as you do certain actions such as sprinting and jumping, and once it reaches 0, you are unable to continue these actions, and so you will have to wait for it to fill up before you can again. To add to this, the game also has a crafting system, and you can also gain experience points that can be used to upgrade your skill tree, and these points can be collected by killing zombies. So let's talk about the primary enemy, and that's, of course, zombies. In Unturned, zombies can be found all over the map, and are surprisingly easy to kill when fighting one-on-one, but they can easily change if you happen to get swarmed. Firing any gun will attract zombies to come at you from all directions, and you can end up with over 10 zombies coming at you at once, which can be overwhelming. The damage they do to you is pretty severe as well, especially if you're getting attacked by a few different zombies at once, so you do have to be careful when dealing with a pack of zombies. But at least the combat is enjoyable in this game, and I like that you can at least punch, meaning you aren't completely defenseless like in other survival games. You can get a good rhythm with the melee combat, and if you move enough, you will generally be fine. For how long, well, that depends how lucky you are. Also, I really love the blood effects in this game. They are so cartoony and over the top that the whole area just ends up getting covered in blood. I love it! Blood has never looked so cute. So as I continued to play this game and discover more items and mechanics, I started to get quite an overwhelming feeling that caught me off guard. This game is surprisingly in-depth with its crafting system and mechanics, which can stand amongst some of the best survival games such as Rust and DayZ. You can cut down trees, collect stone, build houses, build structures, and craft all sorts of different pieces of equipment from bandages to ammunition. Vehicles are also scattered across the island, which are all drivable, not just placed for show. I enjoyed driving around in all sorts of vehicles, searching different towns, discovering new items and crafting new items. You can even mod your weapons, Crisis style. I was not expecting to see this much detail in a small free-to-play game. To be honest, I wasn't expecting much at all. I mean, you can even craft cloth out of clothing, similar to how in DayZ you can turn clothing into rags to heal yourself. This kind of detail I just was not expecting. With the more experimenting you do, the more you'll be amazed at how much there actually is in this game. Now there is multiplayer in this game, but it is not easy to set up like in other survival games in which you just search for a server and connect. Simple. Unturned doesn't have this easy accessible multiplayer from what I found out, and from what I mostly hear, it's mostly just friends sharing a single server. So unfortunately, I was only able to play this game single player and not be able to test out the multiplayer. You gotta remember one thing, that this game is still in very early stages and is regularly getting updated with new content, and I heard that this multiplayer feature may be in an update further along. And also, you have to remember that apparently this game is being made by a single person, and that's amazing! The thought that one person has been able to make this game well, with so much depth and detail, while also making it easy on their eyes and a joy to play, even on your own. But unfortunately, I'm sure that when I get to know more about the game, it may get quite boring by myself, since there's not that immediate danger that there could be someone anywhere that can kill me. When the day comes that there is an easily accessible multiplayer, I can see myself coming back to this game, but at the moment single player is just a bit too easy. Which brings me to my one big gripe with the game. Every time you log out of the game and log back in, the world's items are refreshed. This means that if you had items lying on the floor and you quit and go back into the game, they will be gone and new items will be scattered everywhere. This was a major flaw that can be exploited, as you can leave the game and come back to the same world just refilled with new items. This also meant that if you really want to keep certain items, you either had to carry them or you had to learn how to make a crate to store them in. But yeah, really, that's the only problem that I had with this game, and when you think about it, it's not a huge big deal. Unturned really surprised me with how much content it did have, and of course, you know, single player can get boring with yourself because you don't have that panicky feeling like playing other survival games, but you know, when there's an easy accessible multiplayer that I can play, I mean, maybe one of you guys can, you know, let me know like a way to, because I've heard that people, you know, have been playing multiplayer with randoms, but I can't really seem to figure out how to get to work. Maybe I'm dumb, who knows, but this game is just still great. It has great content, and I can see great things with this game. It has a lot of potential. So since this game is still in very early development, I feel as if I can't give it a score. But you know, I'm here to tell you, I think you should give this game a go, because I think this is the best survival experience you have that's free of charge. So if you haven't had a chance to have a go at games like DayZ and Rust and you don't want to pay anything, this is definitely the best option. And even if you have played other survival games, I still think that this game will be instantly enjoyable and will satisfy survival fans. So have you played Unturned? What did you think of the game overall? Did you think it had a good amount of content for a free-to-play game? And I'm sure I would have missed something, so if there's something you want to know, leave a comment down below and I'll get back to you. And if you like this review, remember to like me on Facebook or subscribe to me on YouTube if you want to see more. Alright guys, thanks for watching my review of Unturned, and I can't wait to do the next one. MAT5's bloody out of here.